of 1, it is k times of L1, EMF 2 k times of L2. This ratio is going to be EMF 1 divided by EMF 2, it is L1 divided by L2. It's very simple formula, comparison of 2 EMF in a potentiometer. Okay, next one, to find the internal resistance using a potentiometer, internal resistance. So internal resistance, it's external resistance L1 by L2 minus 1. Okay, so you can ask, they can ask this question also, why potentiometer is preferred to measure the voltage, because it's a very less error will be there. Okay, without using the voltmeter, without using the battery we can measure the what is the voltage. Okay, and also internal resistance. Okay, if you are using voltmeter means we won't get proper value, will get error because of internal resistance. When you are using potentiometer to measure the internal resistance, it will be it have more advantage. Okay, that's the thing, potentiometer have superiority than the voltmeter. Okay, the next chapter I am going to move. Okay, next chapter, chapter 4. Okay, chapter 4, it's going to be moving charge and magnetism. Okay, moving charge and magnetism. Charge is moving in a magnetic field and magnetism, moving charge in a magnetic field. Okay, moving charge in a magnetic field. First we will learn Lorentz force. Lorentz force is equal to QVB, otherwise IBL. Any of the formulas you can use. Okay, if in case charge means you can use this formula, current means you can use this formula. Okay, Lorentz force is used to find the force direction. Okay, moving charge and charges and magnetism. Okay, now electric field and Lorentz force together, how it's going to be? F is equal to, total force is equal to E plus EVB sin theta. Okay, so V and B is a vector quantity. E you can take it Q also. The same formula you can write like this way also. F is equal to Q common E plus V vector cross B vector. Like this also you can write as in a final form of Lorentz force. Okay, the another equation I am going to do. See, when the charge is moving in a magnetic field, it will make a circular shape. Okay, so circular radius is going to be mvr divided by qb. I am taken this formula using of centripetal force, mv square by r is equal to qvb. If you use this two formula means you can get what is the radius. Okay, omega is equal to 2 pi f. The final formula is going to be qb divided by m. Time period is equal to actually velocity is equal to displacement by time. Time is equal to displacement in circular motion 2 pi r divided by v. Okay, divided by v. Already you know what is radius also. If you are substituting here, you will get what is the answer. Okay, if you want frequency is equal to 1 by time period. Frequency is equal to 1 by time period. Okay, it's very simple equation. Next formula, I am going to give relation between E, B and C. It's very important formulas. Okay, so I know force is equal to E or QE, or force is equal to E, V, B. When we are taking ratio of this, E by B is equal to, both the formula will be equal. E by B is equal to C. The same formula in in the same formula, 8th chapter we can write E by B is equal to C also they will be writing. Okay, it's very important formula. The relation between electric field and magnetic field, velocity of the light. I know velocity of the light is equal to wavelength into frequency. The value is 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. Okay, cyclotron, it is out of syllabus. Next, Biot-Savart law. It's very important principle. Biot-Savart law. dB is equal to mu naught IDL sin theta divided by 4 pi r square. Biot-Savart law, directly you can explain the law. dB is directly proportional to current, dB is directly proportional to length, dB is inversely proportional to the distance square. Vector form of Biot-Savart law, how we can write? So dB vector, it's going to be mu naught divided by 4 pi I is current, dl vector cross r vector because of sin theta divided by r cube. So when you are including as a numerator as a r, denominator you can make it as a cube. It's very simple explanation, vector form of Biot-Savart law. Okay. The next formula you need to know what is Ampere circuit law. Ampere circuit law, integration of BDL is equal to mu naught I. It is called Ampere circuit law. Okay. The next value I am going to give you circular coil current carrying conductor. What is a magnetic field at this point? It's very important. CBSE many times they asked this derivation. Okay, direct derivation only. It's asked in a 3 mark. What is the magnetic field due to the circular coil current carrying conductor? dB is equal to mu naught I r square divided by mu naught is a constant 2 x square plus r square 3 divided by 2. R is the radius of the coil. R is the radius of the coil, x is the distance. Okay, this is going to be r square plus x square 1 by 2. Okay, if you want magnetic field here, you can use this formula. When the x is 0, we can get the center point of the circular coil. If you want center point of the circular coil, the same formula, but x is 0, dB is equal to mu naught I divided by 2r. What is the magnetic field at the center of the coil? Okay, yeah, next one. Next formula. What is the magnetic field due to the solenoid coil? Solenoid coil, magnetic field due to the solenoid coil. B is equal to N I divided by mu naught. N is going to be number of turns per unit length. Okay. The next same thing, if you want end on side means half of the side means B is equal to mu naught I n divided by 2. It's very simple. It's for only at the end side. Okay, one side of the coil. Okay, if you want Tarrant coil, what is a magnetic field? Tarrant coil will be like this. Okay, Tarrant coil will be the infinite coil. B is equal to mu naught Ni. Same formula, but N is equal to N divided by 2 pi r, circumference of the circle. It's very important formula. Okay, the next I'm going to do is this one. What is the magnetic force per unit length? So one wire is there, another wire is there. When both the current is flowing, it's get attracted. When the one wire is up, one wire is down, it's getting repelled. Okay, it's going to be repulsion, it's going to be attraction. Distance between these two I am taken as d. F1 by L1 is equal to F2 divided by L2 is equal to mu naught I1 I2 divided by 2 pi d. Okay, in case if you want what is 1 ampere, define ampere. 1 ampere is equal to 2 pi into 10 power minus 7 Newton per meter. That's the time current should be 1 ampere and distance should be 1 meter. That's the time this is going to happen. Okay. Now torque is equal to, already I said, mb sin theta. So same value you can write m vector cross b vector. It's going to be the vector quantity because of sin theta. Same formula you can write in a another way also. U is equal to minus m vector b vector cos theta. It's going to be the scalar quantity. Scalar quantity. U is equal to minus m vector dot b vector. Same formula. Okay. Small m is equal to magnetic dipole moment Nia. Otherwise Ia also if number of turns is equal to 1. Okay. Now we are going to learn with the next chapter. It is a magnetism and matter. Okay, it's the 5th chapter. We are going to learn what is the formulas is there in a 5th chapter, magnetism and matter. Okay, so it is a 5th chapter, magnetism. It is very small chapter only. We don't have that much formulas. Okay, matters. The formula of small m is equal to Nia. The unit ampere into meter square. Current is ampere, area is meter square. It's very simple. Okay. Already torque, energy, that and all you know. Directly I am going what is angle of dip. Okay. So angle of dip, angle of inclination. Okay. Angle of dip, the angle between the magnetic meridian and how much is getting tilted. Okay. Usually if you hanged north and south means, bar magnet means it will show the north south. Okay, it has some angle with the geometrical north and south. That's going to be the angle of declination. Okay, same thing, the angle between the horizontal magnetic field and actual magnetic field, it's called BH, horizontal magnetic field, actual magnetic field B. It is called angle of dip. Many times this question they asked angle of dip. Okay, so it is called vertical magnetic field BV. it is opposite side is going to be BV. Tan theta is equal to opposite by adjacent, BV by BH. Okay, otherwise B net is equal to root of BV square plus BH square, like that also you can write. Okay. Next formula is called magnetization. It's called capital M. It's small m divided by volume. Magnetic dipole moment per unit volume we call magnetization. Unit of this is going to be ampere. Meter square divided by meter cube will get ampere meter inverse. Okay. Next, magnetic permeability. Magnetic permeability, it's called mu naught. Okay. So we can have the mu naught value is going to be B divided by magnetic field divided by magnetization. Okay. It's capital M. And the magnetic intensation is going to be B divided by mu naught minus M. Okay. The next formula, magnetic succibility, is going to be M divided by H. The another formula, relative permeability is equal to 1 plus magnetic succibility. Okay. The another formula, relative permeability is equal to permeability in medium divided by permeability in air. Okay. These are the formulas is there in a magnetism. Okay. And the next thing, the electron moving in a loop, that also will be under this chapter only. Okay. Electron moving in a loop. Okay. Electron moving in electron act as a current loop. So what is a way we can do? Electron is equal to acting electron moving in orbit. Okay, it is going to be act as in a current loop. I is equal to E divided by T. T is equal to 2 pi R divided by V. Okay. Otherwise, magnetic dipole moment. Magnetic dipole moment is magnetic dipole moment is equal to electron L divided by 2 me. Like that also you can take it. L is called angular momentum, is going to be NH divided by 2 pi. According to the Bohr's second postulates, we can take it like this kind of formula. Okay. The next one, moving coil galvanometer. Moving coil galvanometer. Moving coil galvanometer. We have two torques. Torque is equal to NIAB. The another torque is equal to K times of theta. When you are comparing these two torque, we will get the value. It's going to be theta. How much the twist is going to happen in a coil. Okay, it's going to be NAB divided by K times of I. So under the moving coil galvanometer, we have two conditions. One is the current sensitivity, another one is the voltage sensitivity. Phi divided by NAB divided by K. It's called current sensitivity. If you want voltage sensitivity, phi divided by V, the same formula, phi divided by IR is equal to NAB divided by KR. Like that will be coming as a voltage sensitivity. The another formula, I am converting as a galvanometer as a ammeter. Galvanometer as a ammeter. When you are doing like this, you should connect galvanometer and I resistance in parallel. Okay, that's called shunt resistance. It's called low resistance in parallel. Okay, so this side current I minus Ig, this side current Ig. Okay, now formula for galvanometer to ammeter. It's going to be RL is called shunt resistance, is going to be Ig times of G divided by I minus Ig. Ig is galvanometer current, I is the total current. Okay. The next formula, galvanometer to voltmeter. Galvanometer to voltmeter. When we are doing that, it's going to be galvanometer and high resistance in parallel. So if you want total resistance in voltmeter, galvanometer resistance plus shunt resistance. Shunt resistance we can call RH. Okay. Otherwise, total voltage is going to be voltage in galvanometer plus voltage in shunt. That's going to be G plus I RH. Otherwise, V is equal to I times of G plus RH. So, I is equal to V divided by G plus RH. Like this also, you can write the equation when we are converting galvanometer to voltmeter. Okay, now I am going to move with the next chapter, chapter 6, electromagnetic induction. Okay, so I'm revising all the formulas from the class 12 physics textbook, NCERT textbook. Okay, right now I'm going to start with the chapter 6, electromagnetic induction. electromagnetic induction. There are two laws is based Faraday's first law. Okay, Faraday's first law, EMF is directly proportional to d phi by dt. Faraday's second law is saying about Lenz's law, it's minus times of n d phi by dt. So always the induced EMF will be opposite side of applied, it's opposite to the applied induced EMF is always it is opposite to the applied force. Okay, applied flux also we can say. Okay, according to the Lenz law, it is always it is opposite to the producer, cos of the producer. Okay, so flux is equal to B A cos theta. We can write the same formula, B A cos omega t also we can write. Theta instead of theta you can write as omega t, because omega is equal to theta by t. Okay, now I got what is this formula. Again we are going to learn what is EMF. EMF is equal to minus n d phi by dt. Now we know what is phi. So when you are substituting that phi here, minus n b dA by dt. I am taken maximum flux. Okay. So A is equal to in a clamp, area is going to be length into breadth. Area is going to be length into breadth. Okay. So how much area is getting shifted, changing. Okay. So one rod I am using. So n is going to be 1. N is going to be 1. When we are moving, it is the length of the rod and at x distance I am moving. Okay. So length into x distance. So length is constant. So EMF is equal to NB will be there, minus NB will be there. Okay. So when we are differentiating, it is A is going to be L dx by dt, which is going to be V. So EMF is equal to minus BVL. Displacement by time we can take it as a velocity. Okay. EMF final value we got. Okay. N is going to be 1 because only one rod I am moving. Okay. The next thing, next formula, EMF is equal to work done per unit charge. So BVL also EMF we can call. Okay. We can call power is equal to I square R. So B square L square V square divided by R square into R. This get cancelled. B square L square V square divided by R. Power we can get. Okay. You need to know what is I also. I is equal to EMF divided by R. So EMF already we know BVL divided by R. Okay. F is equal to IBL. It's one important example is given in NCERT. I already I know BVL divided by R into BL. The answer will be B square L square V divided by R. Okay. So power is equal to force into velocity also we have. Finally we will get B square L square V square divided by R. So finally both the way of power will be the equal. That's only we are learning. Okay. Very simple explanation. It's solved in one example problem. Now mutual induction M is equal to minus E di by dt. Or self induction minus E divided by di by dt. Self induction, the induction is created in the same coil. Mutual induction, the induction is created in the opposite coil. That's the difference. But both having the unit will be the same. 1 Henry is equal to 1 volt divided by 1 ampere divided by 1 second. So volt into second, because denominator directly will go in numerator. Volt second divided by ampere is called 1 Henry. It's very important. Definition is called 1 Henry. The another one of the important CBSE question, one of the bigger coil, the another one is a smaller coil. Okay, they asked what is a mutual induction, one coil versus another coil. One is a small coil, 2 is a big coil. Radius R1 is going to be first coil, R2 is going to be second coil. The equation we need to prove, the magnet self induction of first coil due to second coil is going to be mu naught N1 N2 pi R1 square L. Same second coil due to first coil mu naught N1 N2 pi R2 square L. Both is equal. That's what you should prove in this question. Okay, it's a very important question. The inductance energy stored in an inductance L is equal to half L I square. U energy stored. The unit of this is going to be joules. Okay, EMF orientation when the AC circuit. Okay, EMF orientation. This also it's very important question. This is in a CBSE. Many times this question they asked in the CBSE board exam. Okay, EMF is equal to NBA omega sin omega t. Same formula we can write E is equal to E naught sin omega t. we get E naught is equal to NBA omega. Okay. One of the sample paper question, omega has become double. Omega has become double. How EMF will be changing? EMF also become double. Very simple explanation. Okay. Right now we are going with the main chapter, AC circuit. Okay. AC circuit. It's very important chapter. Okay. Mostly we have the volume 1 only, we have the many formulas in a volume 1, but compared to the volume 1 and 2, volume 2 have very few formulas. Okay. So now I am going to give you AC circuit formulas, all the formulas. Okay. AC circuit. First we will see current. So actually flowing current and measured value will have the difference. I naught is called peak value. It's root 2 times of IRMS. IRMS is a measured value. I naught is the peak value. In case if you want IRMS, current in a peak measured value is going to be I naught divided by root 2. Root 2 have the relation between maximum and measured value. V naught is equal to root 2 times of VRMS. Or if you want VRMS, it's V naught divided by root 2. Because AC in complete circle, the answer will be 0. Okay, only you have to measure with the root mean square value. Okay. Now, we have summon circuit or L, C, or C, L, C, LCR. Okay. L, C, R. These are the summon circuit we have. Okay. R, L, C, R, C, L, C, LR and LCR. These are the summon circuit we have. First we will see resistance. Okay, pure resistance. What is the formula for the pure resistance? So applied EMF is going to be V is equal to V naught sin omega t. But flowing current I is equal to I naught sin omega t. There is no phase difference. Phase difference will be 0 degree. There is no phase difference. Applied and flowing will be the same. Second one, inductance with the AC. Okay. Inductance L. Okay. So applied inductance V is equal to V naught sin omega t, but current is flowing in the circuit is going to be different than the applied. Okay. So current is flowing, I is equal to I naught sin omega t minus 90 degree. Okay. From this we can come to know current lags 90 degree. Voltage leads 90 degree. That's the information we got from this circuit. Okay. The next one, see here, you need to know what is a graph also. Okay. Somewhere random, it's vector form of graph omega t. So from here 90 degree as a reverse current. Okay. It is called voltage and it's called current. Okay. Phase difference will be 90 degree. In case if you want phase diagram, means it is called voltage versus time, current versus time. It's called voltage. If you want current, means you need to show the difference, phase difference. It started lagged 90 degree, that you should show. Always current less than the voltage, that also you should prove. Okay. It is for it is inductance graph. So XL is equal to omega L. So will be directly proportional. Yeah, omega and XL will be directly proportional. You get as a linear graph. Omega versus XL. Next graph, next concept we are going to see capacitance. Okay. When capacitance is connected with AC, applied AC is equal to E is equal to E naught sin omega t, otherwise V is equal to V naught sin omega t. Flowing will be I is equal to the flowing current and applied voltage will be have the difference. I is equal to I naught sin omega t plus 90 degree. Okay, from this we can conclude current leads 90 degree, voltage lags 90 degree. Current leads 90 degree, voltage lags 90 degree. Okay, that you should show in a diagram. Okay, so here only I am taken as a voltage to omega t. From here forward will be there 90 degree. It is called voltage, it's called current. It's called 90 degree leading. Okay, and if you want phase diagram, it should be like this. The leading of the current I am showing like this. Okay. If you want XC is equal to 1 divided by omega C. It's inversely proportional. We'll get graph like this. Omega versus XC. Inversely proportional. Okay. This what we have the pure capacitance when we connected with AC. Okay. Next topic I am going. See what is the next topic. It's combination of the circuit LC RC like that. Okay, first R C. When we are connecting R versus C, this resistance R, this resistance XC. So capacitance resistance, unit of this ohms, the unit of this ohms. Okay, so you need to know impedance triangle. It's going to be phi, it's going to be R, it's going to be XC, and it's going to be Z. So if you want Z, Z is equal to root of XC square plus R square. Okay, the unit of this will be ohms. It's very simple. Okay, when we connect with AC circuit, same I am connecting R versus inductance, R versus inductance, or XC, no, XL now, XL. Okay, I connected with the AC circuit. Now our total impedance triangle will be like this. Phi, this is going to be R, sorry, this is going to be R, this is going to be XC. If you want angle, phase difference, tan phi is equal to XC divided by R. That's also can be possible here. Now here XL, it is R, Z is equal to root of XL square plus R square. If you want angle, phasor angle, tan phi is equal to XL divided by R. Like that also you can take it. Okay, next, it's called, this one we can call it's a tank circuit. When capacitance and inductance is connected, it is have opposite phase difference, capacitance and inductance. This difference is 180 degree. Okay, so it's going to be oscillate till infinite. Okay, so XC is equal to XL. Only one case we can take it. XC is equal to XL. XC I know 1 divided by omega C. XL we know omega C. Omega L, sorry, omega L, it's going to be omega C. If you want omega, omega square is going to be 1 divided by LC. Omega is equal to 1 divided by root of LC. If you want frequency, frequency is equal to 1 divided by 2 pi root of LC. I know omega is equal to 2 pi F. Okay, next, the final LCR circuit. Okay, LCR together, inductance, capacitance and resistance, LCR. This unit will be Henry, this unit will be Farad, this unit will be ohms. So unit is not balancing, it's going to be XL, XC, R. That combination only you should take it. Z is equal to root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. When XL is equal to XC or Z is equal to R, that's combination you should get. Okay. When XL is equal to XC, it's going to be resonance condition. XL is equal to XC, resonance condition. That's the time F is equal to 1 divided by 2 pi root of LC. Otherwise, omega is equal to 1 divided by root of LC. Like that, we can get the formula. Okay. Next, what is Q factor? From AC circuit, what is Q factor? Q factor will be deciding how we can analyze the quality of the sound. It is going to be actually explained with the radio. Okay, 1 divided by R is equal to root of L by C. It is called Q factor formula. Okay, it's going to represent as the quality of the sound. The next one I am going to explain what is the transformer formula. First we need to know what is ideal transformer. So ideal transformer is the power input is equal to power output. So definitely this is not going to happen because of the energy loss. Okay. So ratio formula for the transformer: voltage in secondary divided by voltage in primary, current in primary divided by current in secondary is equal to number of turns in secondary divided by number of turns in primary. Okay. There are two types of transformer. When the ratio formula is greater than 1, it's going to be step up. When the ratio formula is less than 1, it's going to be step down. It's going to be step down. Okay, when this was possible, no, all numerator have greater than the denominator. Voltage in secondary will be greater than primary, current in primary greater than secondary, number of turns in primary greater than secondary. Okay, in case this is possible, in case R is less than R is less than 1, that's the time denominator will be greater than the numerator. That's the different. Okay, accordingly you can give the answer what is the kind of question they asked. Okay, chapter 8 now, it is electromagnetic wave. Okay, chapter 8, it's electromagnetic wave, electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, actually we have very simple formula. Wavelength is equal to, velocity is equal to wavelength into frequency. C is equal to electric field by magnetic field. Otherwise we can take it C is equal to 1 divided by root of epsilon naught and mu naught. These are the formulas is there in electromagnetic wave. Okay, it's very simple formula. Okay, now the waves can be arranged like this: gamma ray, X-ray, ultraviolet, visible, infrared, microwave, radio wave, like that. It is increasing order of wavelength. At the same time, this is going to be decreasing order of frequency. That's the thing you need to know for the chapter 8. Okay, now I am going to do with the chapter 9, ray optics. Again we have ray optics, lot of formulas is there in ray optics. Ray optics, chapter 9, ray optics. Okay, so mu of 1 to 2, refractive index of second medium with respect to the first medium, it's G to A is going to be sin I by sin R, or V1 by V2. It's common formula I am given, C divided by V, or wavelength in air divided by wavelength in glass, otherwise the real depth by apparent depth. You can take it whatever formula if you want. This is called refractive index. If you want absolute refractive index, always will be greater than 1. If you want reversibility principle, 1 to 2, 2 to 1 is equal to 1. The same formula, A to G, G to A is equal to 1. Okay. If you want multiple medium, 3 medium together, so it's going to be 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 1 is equal to 1. Same way you can give with the another method also. It's going to be A to G, sorry, A to W, W to G, and G to A is equal to 1. If you want refractive index of water to glass, it's going to be mu of A to G divided by mu of A to W. It's a special formula which you need to know. Okay, the next one, lens formula. Mirror is out of syllabus. If you want lens maker formula, 1 divided by F is equal to 1 divided by V minus 1 divided by U. It's very simple formula. Okay. If you want magnification of lens formula, magnification is equal to H2 divided by H1 is equal to V divided by U. It's called magnification formula. The next one, it's going to be prism formula. A plus deviation is equal to I plus E. It's called prism formula. In case if you want refractive index of prism, 1 to 2 is equal to sin A plus deviation divided by 2 sin A divided by 2. This also will be the prism formula. When it is getting minimum deviation, this graph should be drawn when deviation is going to be min